To take you guys to my village, and this video is inspired by one of my patients that I saw 2 months ago. Sadly, this patient currently has lost one of his eyes due to, like I said, due to ignorance or negligence, because as at the time he reported in our hospital, there was nothing we could do. He came late. So, and the cost of what happened to his eye is the reason why I'm telling this story. While I was growing up, in fact, before I start telling you about this story, I need you to know that everything you are going to see on the screen is live image of my village. Never, and I don't take light like this. So in case you want to marry me and be wondering, what would this girl's village look like? You see this thing you're seeing on the screen, that's my village. In fact, that's almost close to my father's compound. That's my village. So you see this particular thing they are doing here, this thing traumatized me when I was growing up in the village, because this is the major means of livelihood in my village back then, or even currently. Farming is the major means of livelihood for people in the village. And then I hated this. You see this particular thing, I hated it with passion, if there is any English like that. You know when people say I hate something with passion, you see this particular thing, I hated it with passion. Anytime I hear it is time for us to harvest palm fruit in the village, I usually feel very sad. As a child growing up then with my late grandmother, may her soul rest in peace, I usually would tell her, Mama, no, we don't need it, we don't need. But at the end of the day, we have to, because without it, we will not see food and eat. Before this phase we are watching here, what they usually do in my village back then is, if the palm fruit in the farm or the bush is ripe, so the Eze will call his now be cabinet members and tell them, our palm fruits in their farms are ripe, though we have to go and harvest it before people from other neighboring village will come and steal our palm fruits. So they will ask, okay, when are we likely to do it? Is it next month? Is it next 2 months? So they will not agree. When they agree, they will not inform the town crier. The town crier will not go around my village and announce, okay, I want to harvest our palm fruit. If you're interested, you pay. So you come and identify, register with so person. They have financial secretary then in the village, or whoever that is responsible for that. So I think as at that time is around 1,500 or 2,000 you have to use and identify or register to show that you and your family want to participate in harvesting the palm fruit in the village then. So, and this is mainly for married people. Even a 2-year-old man that is married is qualified. While a 30-year-old man in the village then that is not married is not qualified. So it's mainly for married men, not even women, though widows too and widowers used to participate. So the thing is that so long as you are married, even if you are married but you lost your husband or you lost your wife, you can participate. And sometimes mothers who have up to 3-4 children that are married, but their sons are not in the village, maybe they are in Abuja, Lagos, or wherever they are, or abroad, you can also register them. So long as they are married, you can also register, and like all these your 4 children, you can register them and then harvest palm fruit on their behalf. So that's how it's done in the village. Then after that, you will now go and look for Onyebunku, the man that will actually climb the palm tree and harvest the palm fruit for you. So when you now call the person, pay the person, you will now wait for them to fix the D-Day. Is my belt now. Okay, so before that D-Day, the man that want to harvest the palm fruit for you will come to your village to do survey by walking around the bushes or the farms in the village, in your village, or the areas in your village, to know the place that has the highest number of ripe palm fruits. And from there, sometimes they also have to show them the landmark between us, our own village, and the neighboring village, so that you're not gonna harvest palm fruit from other people's village and they will catch you, pay fine and all that. Sometimes people already have customers, like they're already familiar with the landmarks, the village where they can go to and harvest palm fruits. For those people, there is no need for them to do this surveillance to go and be checking where these people who usually do this are people who maybe it's their first time coming to that village to harvest palm fruit for people and all. So after that, on the D-Day, the town cry again will go around the village and say, oh Zola, oh Gerola, Potawa, no, we Tonye de Bunku. They will not say, start coming out with the person that want to harvest the palm fruit for you. So as women, we usually follow them with our basin, which we call abo in Nkobala. And from Nkobala, for those of you that don't know, that be following me here, you will not follow the person. We will not go to the town square or the place where they usually have our men usually have their gathering in the village, have their meeting. So when I get there, they will pray traditionally, and then they will not say the rules and regulations. Sometimes one of the rules include, you will not use, when they say time also, it's time to start harvesting. People start running. So the one of the rules is that you don't move with bike, motorcycle, machine. You don't move with machine. You don't move with bicycle, so you must use leg. So as to accommodate people that don't have bike or bicycle, because you know now when you are running and the next person is using bike, there is no way you will meet up with the person that is using bike. The person that is using bike or bicycle will always go ahead of you. So in order to accommodate everybody, they will not say everybody will use legs. So if you cannot run fast, that means it's your business, it's not their fault. So sometimes they also ignore this one. If you have machine, if you have motor, if you have bike, if your leg is legacy bends, use it. So it's usually survival of the fittest, and it used to be fun then, but as a person growing up in the village, I didn't like it because I didn't like anything that has to do with farming. It was traumatizing to me. Send me to markets, send me to clean house. I like cleaning. I like keeping my room, my environment clean. I like washing. I like cooking. But you see, farm, Jesus. I usually used to say, Holy Ghost, come down, come and carry your daughter. That's just by the way. So when it's not time, you will not see. I just like what you can see on the screen. And you see, as these people are running, you have to follow them. Follow the person that is going to harvest this palm fruit for you, because if you miss him, he will enter another place. You will walk inside the bush and you will cry blood. This is the part that is traumatizing, and I don't have that strength. God knows I am not domestic. God knows I am not domestic. If you go another line, if you don't see him and he enters another place, it's not his business. He will be climbing and be harvesting the palm fruit. Unfortunately, another person, thieves, might be as he's harvesting, they will just be watching here. Nobody's following him. As the palm fruit is dropping, another person is carrying it. Before you know it, your effort is null and void. What will you do? If you are a child, as a child then growing up, what will you tell you? What will I tell my grandmother? So in order not to do that, you have to follow this person, bombard anywhere he's running to, bombard. And the thing is that you cannot do it alone. You have to call some person, that relative or friends that will help you, so that during their own time in their village too, you will go there and go and help them. And I hate this thing. I forgot to tell you that sometimes too, we don't usually need to gather at the village town square. So you can stay around the location of the place they want to enter, like the place they want to harvest the palm fruit. So they usually used to, you know that that gun, this thing that they used to fire when they want to bury somebody in the village. Like what you're seeing on the screen now. That's what I like. Once you hear, boom! Also, everybody, it means it is time. Oh yeah, after harvesting the palm fruit, they usually used to check who harvested the highest number. It's not just this phase, harvesting it, bringing it out from the bush, like, and everything. Bush grasses will be scratching your skin, and they don't do this when it is rainy day, because when it rains, the body of the palm trees will be slippery, so people usually fall. And that's one of the things that happened to my patient, and that can lead to sudden death. So whenever it rains, even if they have fixed the date already, once it's rained that day, they will cancel it and put it on. They usually do it during dry season to prevent number of casualties or accidents on the day of harvesting the palm fruit. So apart from this one, this is not just the traumatizing part of it. You will not, after carrying it out from the bush, you will not have to dismantle the palm fruit. Then you will not start picking it. Then you will not process it to oil. That time, a rubber of 20 liters of oil, that time, we are selling it 2,000. And it was like a big money, because the thing is painful. I'm just hearing now that oil is not expensive. If I show you the one I used to buy, ever bottle water, I used to buy it 4,000 naira. After all the suffer head, we will sell it 2,000 naira. Anyways, thank God for my khaki. I'm going for my CDS. See you guys in my next video. At least with my khaki, nobody will tell me to go to the farm.